something I see very much happening in this season right now is God is calling his people to a deeper faith. Yes, a deeper faith. He wants us to begin to go deeper, right? Not only in my life, but in the people around me, their lives. As I speak to different people, they see that God is requiring them to go deeper and have a stronger faith and really trust and believe in the Lord. And I was at service maybe a few weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago, and it was coming to my mind. Um, like God really wants us to have a strong faith, right? And not to just stay at a certain point, but to go deeper and deeper and deeper and trusting the Lord. And we know that as we go deeper with the Lord, as we go from grace to grace and we continuously move forward, things get a bit harder. They're not as easy as it used to be when we first came in, maybe year one, two, three, however it may be. But the Lord requires more of us. He wants more belief. He wants more trust. And so I was just starting to think like, man, like the Lord really wants us to believe what he says. Like when God tells us something or he gives you a promise or he shows you, like, believe him. Because a lot of times we get into, Lord, just give me a sign or give me a confirmation. Lord, give me another confirmation. Give me another sign. Please, just two more confirmations, two more signs. Well, God, I don't know. And it's like, it's like, just think about being a parent or somebody trustworthy, and let's just say being a parent, right? And your kid constantly comes up to you asking you, are you going to do something over and over and over and over again? And you think to yourself like, yeah, don't I always do what I said I was going to do? I did it before. I'm going to do it again. Like, am I? Now it's different if you have an issue with lying, but just thinking in this sense, you follow through with what your kid is asking you about. And it's like, yeah, don't I do that every time? Like I've never shown myself as a liar or lie about this thing. Why do you constantly ask me as if you haven't seen me do this before? And that's the Lord. God is like, I've done these things for you before. I have worked things out for you before. I've kept every word that I have given you. Why don't you trust me on this level? Like, I believe that the Lord wants us to have a faith so deep now, because we have to be aware. I think a lot of times that we kind of lose faith or our faith shifts because when something doesn't go in the direction that we're expecting or that we want or that we thought was God's will, maybe, and it goes the opposite direction because that was his will, we're kind of like, well, God, like, what's going on? Like, and your faith dwindles. But we have to get to a place where we realize everything that the Lord wants to happen is going to happen. Like, I have to trust and know, God, that if this thing go that way, whether I wanted it to or not, or even if I thought it was going to come close, if it went that way, then the Lord's will be done. If that door was closed shut in my face, then the Lord has another door. It's going to be a little longer. It might happen a different way than you expect, or it might just be different altogether. But the Lord has done it before. The Lord can't lie and he never will lie to you. He is the truth. He is the way. The Lord is not lying to you. And so I truly believe the Lord wants us to be at a place where we're not constantly asking for 15 and 20 confirmations, where we just walk step after step, even though it's hard. And it's not to say that you're not human. You don't call upon the Lord and say, Lord, help me. This is how I feel. I want to give up. I don't want to do good anymore because I feel like there's no point. I don't necessarily feel like I trust you, Lord. Strengthen me in my trust. Strengthen me in my faith, what you are doing in this moment as I move forward. But the Lord really wants us to move forward and believe. Like as we're moving forward, taking step and step and step and walking in our season and going through these valleys and ups wherever you may be at in your life, he wants you to be in a place where, okay, God, that's what you said. All right, well, that's what it's going to be. God, you said it's going to go this way. Okay, God, I trust you. All right, God, that's going to happen. I don't see how any good could come out of that. I really think this is what should happen. But Lord, let your will be done. And I trust you more than I trust me, because your ways are not my ways, right? I don't have the wisdom you have. I surrender myself unto you in your ways, Father, because you know best and you know better than me. So I will walk in faith. Now, don't be discouraged if you have those moments where you say, God, give me a confirmation, or God, speak to me and show me this thing. Because of course the Lord wants to show you things and strengthen you in your faith, but just don't be discouraged if you have those moments, because I know sometimes we can be hard on ourselves. We think like, okay, this is what God requires and he wants this, and if I do that even a little bit, then I have failed. No. Just because God is requiring more of you or deeper of you doesn't mean that when you fail or you mess up or you take a little bit left, that he just all of a sudden is mad at you or just so disappointed. He just wants you to grow in your faith, go deeper in your faith. Believe God the first time. Believe what he said about you. Believe what he said is going to come to pass. Believe that God is in control.